Good morning everyone, hope you're all having a lovely morning. We've just arrived at Old Hay for Tillie's hospital appointment. We're running late as per usual, but basically she's got like a physio appointment. For anybody that's been following our YouTube and Facebook page and all that media thing will know that her right leg has stopped growing because of a procedure that she had to have done when she was 18 months, which I'll explain more about in a little while. But basically we've got this appointment this morning for physio because Tillie's got to have a frame put on her leg in September to lengthen it. So yeah, that's what we're doing this morning. So we will catch you in a bit. We're just going down in the lift, aren't we? And somebody's woken up. Somebody's wakey wakey. Oh, you're not quite awake yet.
I don't think she's fully awake yet. I think she was.
You ready, Tillie? So we've just come out of the appointment and we just had some dinner. I had some fish and chips, some fish and chips, and Tillie had some chicken nuggets and chips. Anyway, the appointment went really well. Just get in the car. The appointment went well. Tillie's not very impressed about having to have this, they call it, what do they call it? They call it an external fixator, which is like
It's a frame.
It's just a frame basically, and she's got to have that put on her leg because it stopped growing. Her right leg stopped growing because of a procedure that she had to have done when she was younger. Anyway, she's got to have, yeah, when you were 18 months, weren't you? So she's not happy about having it put on, and before we went into the appointment, she was really upset, thinking that she was going to have this frame put on her leg and that she wasn't going to be able to walk with it on, and basically she just didn't want it on at all. But the physio people and things were really good, weren't they, Noel?
Yeah.
He basically said that she would be able to walk with it on. For the first 6 weeks it'll be kind of partial weight bearing, but that she will absolutely be able to walk with it on. Don't know what Noel's doing. What are you doing, Noel?
Fastening Bonnie in.
Did you forget to fasten the
I
car
got
seat
put a
in?
belt. Oh, well, I put the other belt that's, she's two, didn't she?
So yeah, so basically he said that she will be able to walk with it on, and that, but for the first 6 weeks she will just be like partial weight bearing on it, and that she'll need a wheelchair for that time, and that she will be off school for 6 weeks, won't she?
Yeah.
At least 6 weeks. The
Minimum
first 6 weeks she will be off school because she'll be on morphine, and whilst they're doing the lengthening of it, which takes kind of
6 weeks.
6 weeks, she will she'll be off school, so she'll have to have a home tutor at home for the first 6 weeks. So that was that. And then Tillie was worried about the fact that people would bang into it and it would hurt, so they put her mind at ease to say that basically it won't hurt. If somebody bangs into her with it, it's not going to hurt her, it will hurt them more than it hurts her. So that was good. He showed her it's a hydrotherapy pool, isn't it? Hydrotherapy pool.
In the gym.
And the gym that she'll get to go on. She's got to go back once a week, which will be every Thursday, and then they will clean the area where the wire goes in.
The pool is actually really small and warm.
It was really nice and warm, wasn't
Like
it?
a posh hotel spa it was.
So she gets to go in that if she wants to go in it, which I think you will, won't you, Tillie? So there was that.
I want to swim on my own.
Pardon, darling?
I want to swim on my own.
You want to swim on your own? Have you got a mouthful of muffin?
Yeah.
So there was that. She's going to have to stay in hospital for a week after she's had it done. So that's going to be a bit difficult, juggling the kids and
work and everything
else. But obviously we'll manage somehow. But that's going to be really hard.
you know what I found really surprising is they're going to extend her bone in the leg 3 centimetres, which is quite a lot really, isn't it? But she said, well, I asked how long will it take to actually do that bit of it, and she said 30 days. I said, oh my god, really? That was so fast.
I know.
And she said, oh no, she said, because for the first week we don't actually don't do anything of the extending of the bone. So really it's done in like 21 days. That is amazing, isn't it? 3 centimetres.
Yeah, crazy.
I can't get over that.
But even though it takes 30 days for it to be lengthened, she has to have it on for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because they have to leave it on for longer so that the bone heals and strengthens and
goes hard and
goes
everything,
hard, basically. So yeah, so she has that on for 6 months, and then they take it off, and then she'll have a plaster cast put on her leg when they take it off, because it will take another 4 to 6 weeks for the inside of the bone where the wire goes through to heal.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's a very long time.
so she's due to have that done in September time, and in between that time she's going to meet lots of boys and girls that have the same frame on, aren't you, Tillie?
Yeah, and then since we have a pool and a gym there, people that need a frame on the arm or leg, and then they've just had it, and then we'll do the pool. I can tell them about it.
Yeah, you can't you? You
And by the way, did you say 46 weeks?
No, 4 to 6 weeks, darling. What for? After they take the frame off?
46.
4 to 6 weeks.
That's
Yeah, but that's after you've had the frame on, darling, and they take it off. You'll just have like a plaster cast. So do you feel a bit better now that you've had that appointment?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you've got a chocolate muffin.
She's got a
It's all
muffin.
on the laptop now.
Oh, Tillie, chocolate muffin on your laptop. So yeah, so she's due to have that done in September time. So we've got a few months. So she gets to meet lots of boys and girls that have the frame on. She can talk to them, ask them different things if anything's worrying her, bothering her.
They said you can go down and watch other boys and girls in the hydrotherapy pool, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just to get an idea. Plus, I think it'd be nice if you could see some other kids with the frames on, so they know what they look like. So Tillie knows what they look like. Because I think she's just frightened of it. It's massive, isn't she? But from what they've said, it's not that big.
It's not going to be that big.
It's smaller than what I actually thought it was going to be.
They had one on a little doll to give me an example of them.
Yeah.
They did,
right.
Some in a little book.
And it didn't look bad, did it?
No, not so bad.
No, not so bad. You're a brave girl, aren't you?
Yeah, but I was just scared of the things that are in the hoops and my leg.
Yeah, like the wire that goes in, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were, weren't you? But did they make you feel a bit better then?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Because she was adamant that she wasn't having it done, wasn't she? So yeah.
Well, we've had tears, haven't we, recently?
We have. We've had lots and lots of tears, and I was kind of thinking, is there anything else that they can do instead of having this done? Because it was really upsetting to see her. So upset, wasn't it? But anyway, they were really good today, and they put her mind at ease, which was really good. So yeah, that's where we're at. So we're just on the way home. Chris is at home, Nicole's at home and that, and yeah, so we're just going to go home. I've got a house to tidy up before I pick the kids up from school. What have you done?
That's my beach.
Ooh. Oh, I could just be on that beach now, Tillie.
There's 2 fish crossing each other.
Oh, and there's a dog on the sand.
And a cat.
And a
The cat's
cat.
a bit small.
And is that you sunbathing? Is that you in the sea?
Yeah.
There you go. Look at Archie. Oh my word. What? What?
He snatched
What?
He snatched
Is
it
that
off me.
chocolate muffin everywhere? Is it? So we will catch you in a bit. Bye for now.
So we got back from Alder Hay a little earlier on today. Tillie's just had a bath, and she'll show you her leg in a minute and see what you can see yourselves what's actually wrong. So basically what happened when she was 18 months old, she just had a bath, and we were a bit late actually getting her ready for bed. Only by about 15 minutes. So what we did, she'd had a bath, and we thought, right, okay, you can watch In the Night Garden, and then is there a little story time after that? And we let her stay up for that. Normally she goes to bed just after 6:30 when they're that age. Anyway, we let her stay up, and as soon as In the Night Garden finished, she said, right, come on then, off to bed. And that was it. Her eyes rolled, and she just flopped backwards on the bed. And her breathing was barely breathing. So we're all running around panicking. I think this was her third fit that she'd had in her life up to then. So we called the ambulance. The rapid response turned up within minutes, luckily, because he was in the area. Another ambulance turned up a few minutes later, and they sort of just looked at it for the next 10 minutes and tried to work out what was going on, see if they could stop the fitting and things like that. But they couldn't, so they decided to rush her off to Lancaster Hospital. She was sick in the hospital on the way up, so they had to stop and get all that out. And then they got her to the hospital with Sue, because she was with the ambulance with her. And then they sort of said to Sue after a little while, because I hadn't got there yet, can you leave the room, because the procedure we need to do next isn't very nice to watch, and you won't want to see your daughter having to go through it. Which was basically, they couldn't get a line into her veins anywhere, because they'd all sort of collapsed, or whatever it's called. I'm sure there's some technical term for it, but anyway, they weren't there. They couldn't find any veins and get a line in, so they had to drill into her shin. That's one sexy leg there, isn't it, Tillie? They had to drill into her shin and put a line in that way into the bone. Sounds grim, doesn't it? And it was. So that happened, and then this, I can't remember what it's called, something like the Special Child Unit or something like that, came, who operate the whole of the northwest or the north of England, something like that, and they took her to Alderhay in Liverpool, which is where she spent the next 10-11 days in hospital, just getting her better. So she was in intensive care for the first day and a half, 2 days, which she was completely wired up, all these wires and everything. So she was there for 10-11 days with all these different things going on, to find out what was actually wrong and everything. In the end, I think it turned out to be bronchiolitis or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was, actually. So the only good thing that came out of the stay in Liverpool, is we were there at Christmas time, weren't we? I think we came out on the 23rd of December, so all the Liverpool squad came round.
That's Demi's birthday.
And that was brilliant, wasn't it? We got to see all the Liverpool players who were there at the time,
yeah,
which was Suarez and...
I saw them when I had that one.
Yeah, so that was it. That was when it was the old Alderhay. Anyway, fast forward a few weeks from then, we noticed she couldn't walk. She just could not walk. She used to crawl everywhere and drag that leg behind her. So we took her back to the doctors or the specialist, and he said, well, she might be like that because the drilling in the bone is more like, it's like a fracture in the leg, basically. But to be on the safe side, we'll scan it and see what's going on. So they did that, and he noticed there was a slight infection in the bone where they drilled into it. But he just, he thought, well, it's not much of an infection. I think it should clear up on its own. We'll just leave it. We won't need to treat this. So, that was that. Fast forward another 2 years, something like that, perhaps. We noticed that Tillie, she'd had a bath, and she was just sort of stood there in front of us. And I thought, oh, that leg looks a bit odd, all of a sudden.
The bone was sticking
And
out.
I'll show you in a sec, but a bone sticking out. So, go on, we'll show you your leg now, then we know what we mean, don't we? Show us your leg. If you can see this bone here, there's two. You've got your big fat one, haven't you, and your thinner one down the side. So what's happened is they've drilled into a shin here in the big bone. That's got the infection in it. And what it's actually done in the long run is your growth plate at the top. It's got the infection all the way up to there, and it's killed the growth plate off. It's stopped it from growing. It's completely fused over. But this bone on the outside has carried on growing, hence why it's sticking out at the top a bit. If we didn't do anything about it, this one would just keep growing and growing. It'd be eventually sticking out here somewhere. So she's had one operation since in this leg. Turn around, Tillie. Show you a big scar. there she's got a big scar there. Now what they did there was, with the growth plate, it was all fused together. The plan was to scrape all the fusing out, put a bit of fat in it from a leg, and with the hope that it'd kick it off growing again. So unfortunately that didn't work. That was over a year ago now. So what's happened now is the leg is now too much of a difference in height to the other leg. It's starting to affect the hip on the other side because they're not all in place and things like this, a number of things. So it's plan B, which is have the frame fitted and
just a small one.
Just a small one. How big is it?
Like that.
So it'd be a frame about that tall. Yeah, about that tall, and then it's 2 fingers wide in between it. So it'd be just a little metal frame here with going round. And basically, there's a wire that goes through the bone there, and somewhere at the top, and maybe in the middle. I'm not rightly sure yet. And then 3 times a day, me and Mum have to twist it with a spanner.
What?
We have to grow her leg for her. We have to stretch it a tiny bit each day, 3 times a day.
No.
So
No.
Tillie's off. But anyway, it doesn't hurt. She's on plenty of painkillers and things like that. So that's it. But what I can't get over is how fast the leg bone grows. We're growing it about a millimetre a day or a bit more. And then for 3 centimetres. So what it's going to effectively do is overtake her good leg. So, and then her good leg over the years will catch up to the same height as what is a bad leg at the moment. And then what they'll do, there'll be another operation to stop both legs from growing. Yeah, both legs from growing at the top, near the knee. They'll still carry on at the bottom, near your ankle. So effectively, at the end of the day, when Tillie's fully grown, she'll be about an inch smaller than what she ever would have been in life. So, which isn't good in this house, because we're all vertically challenged, aren't we? Me and Mum are, for sure. Some of the boys aren't, they're odd. They're like 5'10", some of them. So, I don't know where they get it from. Anyway, so that's where it is. We went to see the physio and everybody today, because Tillie was, honestly, she was so worried about having this done, this frame fitted and everything. But since going today, she's a lot happier. She's talked about it non-stop since we got home, saying, just talking about the frame, saying I'm quite happy now, you know, wants to get in the swimming pool with the physio man and everything like that. So, happy day.
Swim in public places.
No, you're only allowed in that one pool at the hospital. They're not allowed in normal baths because
Or school ones.
Or the school ones because of, I guess, the cleanliness, something like that.
That's perfect because I won't be at school.
So yeah, so that's it really. Happy days after today. It's been a good result, hasn't it, going to see everybody?
Yeah.
And reassuring Tillie what's going to happen. So that's it. We'll keep you updated, anything else that goes on. But the operation isn't now till middle of September, so it's a good while yet. And that's it. So, thank you for watching everyone, and we'll see you again soon. Bye. Say bye.
Bye. Say the ducky.
Quack.